In a 1v1 situation against the second form Nice, aka Mr. Birdman, 5 Arena, terrorizes everybody, how many champions can confidently say they have the upper hand? How many good nukers have ignored block damage? And then you have to hit through like a 300k HP tank that also counterattacks, heals, does crowd control, is extremely fast. And did I mention he also revives? So, quick update, we're now 296 wins and 69 losses. Back on the topic, Maria, a champion with an in-game rating of 3.5, can confidently say she's in a favorable matchup versus. Let's take a look at today's featured matchup, which is this one right here. So as we get into this fight, you can see opponent has a fast Alva, a 9-piece Mercurial Galathier, a Marius, and a Nice, right? And I've got no revivers. I got the Control Brothers, Armands and Fabian, and they're faster than me. So they boost up, which gives me Supersonic. I cut in, right? Um, I locked him out. Galathier right here, if he is locked out, he's got nothing to do in the first form, so he has to transform, I think. Yep, and tries to go for the strip. And he gets both of them, right? He won the 50-50 here with the Stone Skin, won the 50-50 here. Didn't trigger the polymorph here, didn't trigger the polymorph here. So I would say very lucky with this skill. Very, very lucky. So it's not looking good right off the bat. Everybody is stripped. Now he's Marius gonna attack. Crucially, I do have the mastery, defense mastery here, which once the HP drops I think over 25%, I do a debuff removal, right? So I do remove that block active skill, which is very important on Empress, because Empress needs to be able to use the transform skill to get to the second form. So that is important. Now it's Nice's turn. Got oh, he's not locked out because I landed a weak hit. Super unlucky. A lot of unlucky things going. Here I try to go for an extra turn. I'm locked and I have, this is turn 1. We're gonna count, okay? This is 1. Don't get an extra turn. Hit the 30%. Unlucky again, right? It's fine. Here is Marius has the mastery, which could land 2-turn enfeeble. I think is 30% chance, and he hits that, right? Lands a 2-turn enfeeble on my Empress. Pretty unlucky. We do the HP swap, and then right now I'm enfeebled, so I have to just A1. Yep. If we're stunned as Maria, and your turn meter reaches full, that counts as a turn, guys. So you have to count that. That becomes important later. So Marius here, cycle that skill back already. Like, what? Must have hit a skill cooldown somewhere. And now he can do the triple hit. Kills the Empress, which reflect damage kills the Marius as well, right? And Alva here goes A1 and denies. Tries to block revive the Empress. I think lands a weak hit, right? At this point, Maria took a second turn. Very important, we count that, okay? Her turn, she was stunned, but her turn meter reaches 100. So it is her second turn. And okay, we're gonna keep going. So Galathier here, what does he have? Just A1, increase turn meter. Alva revives, so now it's looking really bad, right? Our Empress doesn't have revive anymore, and his Nice is cut in before us, so he's gonna do his thing, and our Maria is locked out on the second turn. So Nice lands another weak hit, so we do get a lucky break, right? With the Nice versus Empress matchup, why is it good? Your strong affinity, same idea with Maria, right? On top of all the things that she does that counters Nice, she's also strong affinity. So very, very important. We We get a break. We do the AoE. Take out everybody, right? And now we trigger the Nice. Nice even counterattacks before he does anything, kills the Empress, and revives the Marius. Okay? And what's he gonna do? He's gonna do the block active, block passive. Now this is Maria's third turn, right here, this one. This is turn 3. I kill the Marius, I get an extra turn. I'm no longer locked out, and now we're back to the first turn of Maria. Now, why is that important? Because even myself, I miscounted the Maria turns when I was doing this match. I think I missed the stun turn, and I thought that right here is the third turn. No, this is turn 1 again. So I try to go for A2 on the Nice, thinking I've won the match. I can one-shot him through block damage. No, only on the third turn does the A2 ignore block damage. So we make a big mistake here, right? We use the A2. Not only do we not kill him, like he's gonna counterattack here. And this is where Maria shines, guys. Like just take a look at what Maria does here, right? So that was turn 1. And just take a look at Maria versus Nice 1v1. So Nice takes his turn. Okay. Gonna do AoE. 49 damage, 114 damage. Right? Maria passive, and and a whole bunch of other things. I'm gonna go over that in a bit. Damage reduction. From Nice is like this skill that does probably 200k to normal champions, right? 49 damage, 114 damage. Okay. So let's keep going here. Can we... What is going on with this clip? I think we're stuck a little bit. Oh, Nice did another attack. Okay. Now we're on turn 2. Okay. Okay. And this is why Empress is good matchup into Nice, because on the second form, Nice has so much HP that the Necrosis stack actually takes for a lot. Like you saw there, 24k, right? So now what is Nice gonna do? A1. Look at the damage on Maria. Like nothing, right? And we're constantly refreshing our bone plating because she's the last one standing. And Nice is so fast. Like Nice is so fast. He's just gonna keep taking turn after turn after turn. Now he's going to block damage, right? I think this is 3? Oh my gosh. Even in like replay, I'm missing the count here. That was 3. That was 3, I think. So he kills us. You would think the match is over, right? No. Maria has a passive that if the enemy does any kind of revive, she's gonna come back. So here, because Nice killed Maria and did a revive, Maria's passive triggers. She comes back with 33% HP and 66% turn meter, and she puts an irresistible true fear on everybody. The reason why Maria is so good versus Nice 1v1, because even if the Nice does kill her, which the Nice will struggle to do very, very hard, right? If the Nice does kill her, the Nice will revive somebody on his team and she will come back. So this is why Maria counters Nice. Okay, so we come back. We're back to turn 1. This is turn 1. Okay. Keep going here. So Nice back again, hitting us. Weak hit, 79 damage. 79 damage. And there we go. There we go. Right? So I think this is a pretty good showcase of like, even it's so hard, guys, to count the Maria turns with all those like stuns and the turn meter control. But this is why Maria counters Nice. Knights will revive somebody, Maria will come back, she'll put True Fear, she'll be faster than them, and she'll start to do her thing, right? Let's go back to what we're talking about. So, like, I think a lot of you have seen the other Maria build, the fast tanky build, and a lot of you are thinking, uh, that's very 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 hard to do, right? That one requires a lot of key pieces, even the like the mythical relic and whatnot, and like you know that's very very hard to do, unless you hit the lottery, right? It's just not very feasible. Well, guess what? Like on my main account, I also don't have that relic, and I've been testing a different type of Maria build for a couple days now, and I can say that it works, right? Even without that mythical relic. But in order to like, um, so the two, like I want to say the two key characteristics of Maria, is that she's got this passive damage reduction and the extra turn mechanic, right? Um, we can say that, of course, one of the best things about her is the A2 of Maria on the third turn, that ignores stone skin and block damage. But the other two main characteristics, is the passive damage reduction and the extra turn mechanics. And this build leans hard into both of them, so I'm going to break it down as to how this one tries to really leverage those two things. So first, the sets, right? 9-piece Merciless. 9-piece Merciless is fantastic on Maria. Not only does it give like all the things that she wants, attack, crit damage, speed, decrease cooldown, right? Ignore defense. This one really, excuse me, really really key. 35% ignore defense, even better than like lethal or savage, right? That you get from the 6-piece bonus, and then more speed, more crit damage. And this one here, the 9-piece, is what makes Merciless so good. 15% chance of getting an extra turn. Now, I think back in the days, a lot of us have seen the relentless rotos, right? Even like nowadays, if you run 9-piece Merciless rotos, you take so many extra turns in a row. And that's where I got the idea of putting 9-piece Merciless on Maria, just to, have synergy with her extra turn mechanics. And it works great. And this is one of those cases where sets over stats, guys. You want to try to hit 9-piece Merciless, even if it means you're sacrificing some of the stats. Like for my build, a lot of room for improvement, right? The ring and the banner both are defense main stat. If they're HP or attack, it'll be so much better. But no, I want to complete the 9-piece Merciless, so this is the build that I have for now. And HP, right? You want to get this a little bit high. I wish I had it a little bit higher. Attack is important, but not that much. Not that much for Maria, because even at this level, you can one-shot a nice. So not that much. Defense is not important. Speed, you want to get her fast, right? You want her to take a lot of turns and cycle through her skills. She's like mostly single target, so you want speed. 100% crit rate for consistency. Crit damage, get it as high as possible. Resistance not really matter. Accuracy, you want to at least 300 to 350 accuracy, right? Because she's got that A3 that can strip buffs, and you want to make use of that sometimes, to get rid of a key buff that they have. So I did build a little bit of accuracy. That's the gear sets and the stats. In terms of relic, this is where it comes in. This Eternal Sogal, I've been testing it. Now a lot of people are saying like, what is this relic? It gives HP main like attack is terrible, right? These two. But the effect of it. And in this game, right, damage reduction, it actually stacks, not additively. Like that would be crazy broken. You take 0 damage every turn, but multiple I don't know. Like so, yeah. So like it multiplies, right? So if you already have damage reduction in your kit, that is her passive, all these damage reduction, you put this relic on, um, it gives more damage reduction. The first hit you take, 25% less damage, right? And each subsequent kit, 8% less damage. And it kind of stacks too. Like the longer the fight goes, the crazier this relic becomes. And on top of that, you can put gems on this. This has a really, really good choice of gems. You got this pentagon gem, triangle, and this diamond. It's so good because for this one, you can put things that give you extra turns. Not that give you extra turn, but synergize with the extra turn, right? 10% chance to prevent skills being placed on cooldown during extra turn. So you can like maybe do two A3s in a row or two A2s in a row. Really, really good. This one here gives you extra accuracy when removing buffs. So when you're building and you're having trouble hitting like 350 accuracy, this one will be able to get you to that level. And at that point, you're able to strip a lot of the nukers, right, on the enemy team with that level of accuracy. And then the triangle one is what makes it so great because there's this mythical gem, constant onslaught. I stole this from my Marius. Has an 8% chance to gain an extra turn after killing an enemy. Now that's fantastic on Maria. Like you're on top of the extra turns she's already getting, on top of the 33% per A1 on the extra turn, and the 15% she's getting from Merciless 9-piece set, she's also getting a 8% chance on kill with the gemstone. Like it's just sometimes she's just taking turn after turn, and the opponent doesn't even know what's going on yet, and like all their champions are dead or locked out, right? Irresistible. So very, very underrated. I think it's a faction wars legendary. A lot of people just have it in their inventory and don't know what to do with this. Really good on Maria. Really good on Maria. Test it out, guys. Um, in terms of blessing, I think Word of the Fallen is fantastic. A lot of times you're gonna be the last one standing with Maria, and you have to solo that nice and having the extra damage reduction. So this is why we're leaning hard into her two key characteristics, right? As you've seen with the extra turn, and this one with the damage reduction. So this one gives 30%, 30% per bone stack, right? Bone stacks decrease damage received by 30%, and you get 3 stacks at the beginning, and every time you hit when you have dead allies, it refreshes, right? You get more bone stacks. Excellent, excellent with Maria. That's why you're seeing Nice's big nuke doing like 70 damage to us. That's one of the key reasons, right? You want to stack all those things. And then for masteries, I think I've shown this before, very standard. Over here, is there anything very important? You take the accuracy ones. This one, very haste. When she's the last one standing, she gets 24 speed. This is huge. Definitely take this one. House Smasher, self-explanatory. Everybody's higher HP than you, bring it down is great. Life Drinker, excellent on Maria. She's going to be low a lot of the time, and she can heal herself. And then over here, avoid the blood shield mastery, right? This can mess up her rebuff thing. If she kills someone and gains a shield, that shield actually counts in the amount of buffs calculation. So if you saw you had 3 buffs and then you kill someone and then you gain a shield, the game actually thinks you have 4 buffs and you don't gain an extra turn. So it's really messed up. Don't use this mastery. Do not recommend. Okay, so that is my new Maria build. Hope maybe that gives some inspiration to some other players. I'm not using the mythical relic. I'm using a legendary this time from Faction Wars, a little more accessible. And this one very underrated. I've been testing it. The like stats are not good, but the bonus is very, very good, especially for Maria. Okay, I think I've yapped enough. I think it's time that we get back into today's live arena matches. So let's go. So over here, we're against um, a team that we don't really like to see. But the thing is, I'm looking at this team, I'm thinking, okay, they hard counter my Ileo combo, right? With Donnie. And I really want to ban the Fabian. The Fabian has 6-star temp chains, counters Defi hard, and also there's a bug with the Necro Ileo. So I can't really pick it. So I picked Maria. I didn't pick the Ileo. You gotta sometimes be a little bit more flexible. I know going into the matches, sometimes you have a set idea in mind, but just be more flexible and change on the fly, right? So we boost, which gives the Queen of Hearts extra turn, but a lot of times, especially if you're running 9 protection CP, you don't care. Like Queen of Hearts is not actually a counter to you because you will put the protected buffs, and what is she gonna do? She can't strip anything, right? Okay, maybe she can strip this one, but like this is why 9 protection CV is so good into Queen of Hearts, and don't pick like Queen of Hearts is actually not used as a counter to CV in today's meta. It's more like to counter the Arbias or some other buff, like maybe Marius, maybe Gizmak if you want to do that. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, guys, it's calculated. Okay, trust me. I've tested it before. I know what I'm doing. I knew it was gonna be 9 buffs. That's why I used the A3 there. I get an extra turn, right? Because 9 is a multiple of 3, so you get an extra turn. A1 there. Don't get an extra turn. Unlucky, but that's okay. With triple nuke, we get turned into a sheep. Unlucky, but CFE is fair and balanced, and the sleep is irresistible, right? So his Empress doesn't get to take a turn. Here, I know the Donny passive has already triggered, so I'm free to hit whatever I want. And all of these champions remaining, the highest threat is this guy, right? Empress. So we get rid of him, and everybody else is locked out. So here I'm free to hit whoever I want. The A3, I have 3 buffs, so I'll get an extra turn. And the A3 does splash damage to everybody below 66% HP. So I can hit whatever I want. I just pick Leo. And yeah, we get slightly lucky, I guess, with the stripping the global and the one shot, right? So pretty good. Get into the next one. Here I'm seeing Commodus. If you have 2 counters to Commodus, like 2 block buffs, debuffs champions, you're set, right? I think the player preemptively thought that I was gonna pick Hyliel. You know what? Today I'm doing something different. I'm picking Maria. Maria is not super scared of UDK. So thought you had me, huh? Okay, I still picked Hyliel. Okay, yeah, because the Commodus, right? If if he bans the Sifi, I have a single target protection. I don't actually protect the whole team. And if he bans the Sifi, I need someone to be able to kill the Commodus before he takes a turn. And Maria can't do that. It's like consistently. So Ilio is pretty consistent. So I opted to ban the UDK instead of leaving it in. So here I just one shot the Commodus. I think we one shot most Commodus. Both of those champions resisted. Important there. I think he goes for no, he doesn't go for revive. Good, smart, because you're not supposed to go for the revive there. My Empress haven't taken a turn yet, and he's at like a full turn meter. Your revive is not like a CV revive. It's not gonna be 100% turn meter. The if you revive there, Commodus will just die, right, without taking an extra turn. So here I'm checking for polymorph. There are, so I don't do the fear. Do not do the fear. It's not worth it if there's polymorph. Always look for opportunity to block revive, especially against teams that's running 2 revivers. You gain nothing by doing AoE here. You always want to look for opportunities to block revive, because once that happens, he's never coming back. The revivers actually lose a lot of power if you block revive one of their champions. So now there's just a Commodus we have to worry about, right? Um, out of these two, I decided to take my time. I'm gonna kill the Ancora first. At least that's my thinking. But the Ancora resets the Marichka, which heals him back to full. So here Ancora is looking at my turn meter and thinking, can she revive the Commodus enough that he takes the turn, goes for it, right? Sometimes you gotta risk it. Even lands the Wand of Submission, so he doesn't get True Feared after coming back to revive. I do the A1. Why do I do the A1? I'm not sure if my Empress is faster than him. A1 decreases turn meter. Like if I do the petrification, first of all, there's an Ancora in the game. Petrification will get redirected to the Ancora, and then the fear is not gonna land either. It really doesn't help my case. So really, my only concern is to make sure the Commodus doesn't take a turn before my Empress. Um, Here, I actually don't want to kill the Commodus. Why? Because my Empress is about to take a turn and I can block revive it. If I can block revive the Commodus, I've won the match, right? So if I ally attack there, he has a chance to come back still with Marichka revive passive. So I save that to make sure that my Empress is protected. I think Maria still has Marichka still has boost turn meter. She tries to see if the Commodus can go. So here, if the Commodus does go, I'm actually very safe now. Both my nukers are under protection of Necrit with the block debuffs. Now, the Commodus, all his damage comes from bombs. So if he does the bombs against me, it's not gonna do much. Right? Maybe kill this one. This is so high HP, he'll live with like a little bit. So I block revive the other one. The game is over at this point, right? Opponent knows this too. Leaves the match. In this one, okay, I have drafted Sifi and I'm hovering the Nell. Nell hard counter Sifi, right? It is not funny. Not fun at all to face a Nell with a buff heavy team. You're just watching yourself buff, and I don't ban the Nell. And I'll tell you why. They are going to be so confident, right? That like you're going to want to like there's so many things that counters me in the enemy team. Um, what I really want to do at this point is get rid of their reviver, because arbiter is their only like not counting the nice because conditional on a second form. We will use Maria to deal with nice, but we get rid of their reviver and our Sifi, and I'm hoping I get the combo of Necri Ileo here. Most Nell is built with Pinpoint and Stone Skin. My Ileo can one-shot the Nell, as seen here, and now my Sifi is free to do whatever she wants. The Empress does have that newer relic that if one of the champions dies, you get an instant turn, I think. Something like that. It's not because his Empress is so fast that it's like Sifi is like, yeah, it's not because he's so fast, right? There's something going on with Empress there. So he transforms to the second form. Are we stuck again? What's going on? So he transformed to the second form, and I'm seeing like the build here. The Nice actually has a total guard stack. So the Nice is immune to all crowd control, and one stack of damage, right? That's gonna be important. So I buff up here. Think the Fabian is gonna lock me out. Yep. Here, fish for extra turn. One. Maria is great. There's another reason why Maria is great. She doesn't really care about lockout. Her skills are so short cooldown. There's 3 turns. When she gets back to her third turn, she's gonna have them available, and she cycles through her turns so fast, right, with extra turns. So Maria doesn't really care about lockout either. It's fantastic. Here, I think the interaction with Ailil and Empress when Aileo goes in for the kill and the kill is gonna kill the Empress, Empress is gonna put the Revive on Death on himself. And Aileo's A1 actually steals all buffs, is irresistible if it's the first time you hit them, right? So even if the reflect damage kills me here from the Embrace passive, I'm gonna steal his Revive on Death and I'm gonna come back to life. Let's see. It doesn't do enough because I'm protected by net crit. But even if the reflect kills me, I'm gonna steal his Revive on Death. The game gives me that buff first before the reflect damage, and I'm able to come back again, right? And his Embrace will stay dead because I have stolen the Revive on Death. So the game actually takes in the buff first before the damage and reflect damage. That's like a cool little mechanic there. Over here, the nice. What's he gonna do? Transforms immediately, okay, and puts the turtle mode. Okay, so he's counterattacking. Over here, just A1 him for not for no reason. It gets rid of the total guard. I think I read somewhere that if you have block damage and total guard and you get hit, the total guard disappears, right? And I tested there and it works, guys. So if you see a nice with total guard, but you want to get rid of that stack, just use a support champion A1 him. He's gonna lose that total guard. So like, but yes, total guard is extremely powerful right now. But against multi-hit champions like Maria, is a hard counter total guard, right? They just lose stacks based on hits. Over here we ally attack the Fabian, gets rid of him. He's gonna AoE here, I think. Yep, kills our Aileo who stolen the Revive on Death from Empress earlier. So we come back, right? Over here, deep. Okay, nice. Takes. Okay, revives another one and cheap. So now it's not looking good. Not looking good because the nail is back. Oh, and I totally. I guess I should have been counting here. Like, okay, this is second turn, I think. Third turn. Okay, we get rid of 400k damage on nice, guys. Maria, 99% ignore defense on the A2 on the third turn. You have to be just use your fingers, and when you're fighting, 1, 2, 3, you have to be counting. Over here, I completely lost count, and but apparently during the match I was counting, so I got the nice there, and just the now left, right? And the now do anything against? No, the now cannot. So that was that fight. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of nice today, and I'm picking a lot of Maria, right? Maria versus nice. This is how it is in live arena. The meta champions are gonna rule, and you have to think of ways to counter the meta champions. And this is my counter to them. Maria. So it does the lockout. Not a huge deal, as we discussed earlier. It's very good at cycling. One, we don't get any, unlucky. There's polymorph, don't do anything. Great. Gets rid of Embrace does a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Especially since I built my Embrace with extremely low accuracy, and those two champions are going to have higher accuracy. I ignore so much defense. That's why I'm one-shotting them, right? If you build accuracy on an Embrace, you're not going to be able to do that. Like through the shield and the Marius and the Galathier one-shotting, your Embrace is doing less damage because you built accuracy on him. I have a video earlier talking about how to properly build Embrace as a nuker. Go check that out if you need to. Accuracy is very, very important on Embrace, and it has to be low. Has to be low. Okay. Over here, he's got no real good targets. Transforms. Okay. Okay. ally attack. Okay, it actually did enough damage. This is the Merciless build. Even the A1 and the A3 does a lot of damage. So very, 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 very good Maria in terms of damage. Now we get extra turn, even if that's a taunt, right? Now we're in the third turn. I'm fairly certain we one shot the nice. Just Marishka left, and we take our time, right? Do we take our time? Okay, I go straight for the kill. Everybody comes back. I don't know if that's the best thing to do here because now I'm getting controlled. Yeah, I think too impatient there. Okay, Marius kills himself off of Reflect. Nice, does his thing. Protect. Have Enfeeble on and lock. Okay, 1, 2, extra turn. Was that not 3? So hard to count. How I wish there is an indicator. Yeah, okay, now we just get controlled. Nice killed Maria, revived Marius. Maria should come back here. What is the game doing? Okay, bugged out, but Maria comes back. And then Galathir does his thing. I think okay, now I'm gonna try for it, and I get True Fear, right? Because of Wano's submission. I think I may have miscounted this match. Blunder is sometimes it's so hard to get that like 3, right? It's hard. It's hard, guys. Make mistakes. Over here, I'm thinking, okay, what is the Rotos gonna do if I have a UDK, right? Um, but they have a Armans. If the Armans is properly built and has a lot of accuracy, he may be able to do something against me. Here he sheeps the Marius. Okay, a lot of extra turns. Try to kill the Armans. I do. Okay, a lot of extra turns. A lot of extra turns. Beat that up. Rotos is just hitting into a wall. This ally attack, right when I come back, Marishka takes a turn and ally attack my low 50% HP Marius, and the Rotos hits him because the first hit, the Marishka hit of the ally attack gets absorbed by UDK, and Rotos' second hit bypasses the UDK and hits the intended target. Did 22k, not enough to kill, but also the little like skeleton from World of the Fallen hits the Marius and kills him. So sad, so sad, because I think like that did just enough to kill the Marius, right? 3.7k. I think that's match for me there. Because I only have one nuker now. I have to kill the Marishka, right? And then what everybody comes back and the Sifi is not locked out. The Sifi can just revive the Marishka. So I have to try to time it so that my the only way is I have to try to time it so that my ally attack from the I think this is my one opportunity to try it. If I can ally attack and kill the Marishka, and then if my idol is fast enough, takes a turn and kill the Sifi. That's the only way I can win this match, right? Um, but I'm looking at a turn meter. I'm thinking it's not the best time, but don't do it. And eventually, yeah, Dongxian will run out on my UDK. See, even the ally attack here is gonna hit. Now just the Marishka left, but unless we can get the proper time, I don't get the proper timing. I was thinking like if I can ally attack, or if my Ailil kills the Marishka and then Necro immediately goes and ally attack the Sifi, I have a chance to win. But over there, the A1 did too much damage. It one-shot the Marishka. Everybody comes back. My turn meter is terrible state. No idea why Sifu is not reviving, right? He put it on auto and just left. But okay, now Sifu is reviving. Um, so yeah, we have lost, right? Because now you have to do it over again. You don't have stone skin anymore, and so let's just speed that up. Suffering, right? I think when there was that opportunity, had to take it. Just had to. Here, yeah, UDK slowly losing his stone skin, eventually dies. Doesn't do enough to the Sifi. And then Rotos does Rotos things. Urshka comes back to life. At this point, it's really over, right? We just play it out. Okay. So we lose 2 in a row. Not great. Here, what is my team? I am just really into Maria. I want to test the new build, and I picked triple nukers. I dislike triple nukers. It's not a good team composition, in my opinion, but that is the choice we have made. Here I boost because Sifi gives so many buffs. Ailio actually goes before his champions, right? Out of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, the only correct choice is the Empress, right? Galathier doesn't die to one shot. This Siegfried doesn't die to one shot. Marichka, kill her, what's the point? So you want to slow down the Empress. Comes back, doesn't do the heal, okay? Now, because I boosted with the Sifi and I don't have Necrate, the buff is not multiples of 3, 5 buffs. I don't get an extra turn, but I want to do the splash damage anyways. So I go for the A3, and look at what happened here. I gain an extra turn. This one is either the 8% from that gemstone we talked about earlier in the video, or the 15% from the Merciless set. This is not built-in extra turn for Maria. And also look at these decreased cooldown. That's the other gemstone that preserve the skill cooldown, right? Or Merciless, both of them procced maybe, because there's 2 decreased cooldown texts. So that build is very, very good. Very, very fun as well. So we get an extra turn. Over here, I try to get another extra turn. Don't do it. Okay. Look at Maria, a 47k HP champion, right? Usually what happens when a Siegfried hits a 47k HP nuker, the damage will be astronomical. It will be like 500k, and then the splash will be in the millions. It will one-shot champions even if they have stone skin protection. That's usually what happens. Look at how much damage Siegfried does to Maria, who doesn't have the passive block damage kicking in yet, right? Because nobody hit her. So this hit will do a lot of damage, but 84k actual hit. We had 47, so like 40k splash, right? It's gonna do nothing. Usually that hit would have wiped the team even if you have stone skin, but because Maria has so much damage reduction built in to her kit as well as the build, we were able to survive there. And that's why we built Maria, by stacking damage reduction and extra turn mechanics. That is why. So we give her another chance. She comes back and we just smack them. And then Marishka does her thing, but they have lost all their passive at this point. So nuke. So yeah, okay, triple nuker doesn't seem bad against a lot of revive. If you're facing a lot of revive, triple nuker is viable. Yeah. If you are facing a lot of speed and control, not recommended. Okay. Next match. If I had yeah, let me see here. I have double lockout. I have double lockout against. I think the thinking here is if Marius is locked out, he doesn't do anything, right? That Lazarus looks like support Lazarus. So the only real threat is the Marius, and if we can lock Marius out, I'm in a good spot. We lock them out. Okay, buff over here. I guess all of the champions are under Stone Skin except for Fabian, so this is not the worst thing I could do. Um, Not the best, but I'm running double lockout. What is he? So I have to fish for A1, get an extra turn. Another A1. Okay, don't get a third one. So Lazarus is gonna, even though he's locked out, he's not gonna swap because he wants to make use of his passive, I think. So he stays in for. Uh, he wasn't locked out. Weak hit. Okay. I think I talked about this interaction before. If you have Empress and you're facing this champion Niamhe, um, always think about ways to bring Niamhe below 50% without hitting her. What are some ways to do that? Passively, reflect damage, um, poisons, HP burn, and HP swap. HP swap. So if you are able to have the opportunity to do this, uh, check out what I'm doing here. I'm gonna HP swap with the Niamhe. Now she's below 50%. She's not gonna put that protected block damage. Usually they're built with 9-piece protection. She's not gonna put that protected block damage on everybody anymore. So this is a way to bypass that mechanic that this champion so annoyingly have, right? And over here, the Galathier is not gonna die, and the Galathier still has a revive skill. So I think what I try to do here, okay, I A1 the Niam, so she's never coming back. I like it looks juicy to go for the AoE and kill all the target. Galathier is gonna revive, and then the Niamhe is gonna be coming back. She's gonna heal, and then she's gonna put protected block damage. It's a terrible time. You have to recognize when to use AoE, when to use the block revive. And in this case, even though the Marius is going, um, it's the correct choice to do the block revive. Because right now Galathier has the revive, but he can't use it, right? And if he swaps to the second form, it's very, very risky to lose it all here. He does swap to the second form, tries for the lockout, right? No, tries for the stun, hits the wand of submission. Okay. All right. This is a good matchup for us because he can weak hit, and our Maria has all that damage reduction. Goes for the Maria. I would never have gone for the Maria there. I guess he doesn't know our technology. Maria, very, very tanky, right? Even like at this low HP, that's Maria's comfort zone. These hits are not gonna do much versus Maria. So he wanted to kill the Maria to do a lockout. Didn't work. Now he's gonna do that lockout. Yep. Yep. And then we block revive, right? Just Marius, not too scared. Okay. Look at the triple hit of the Marius. Triple hit, right? This usually would do so much damage. Because the Empress is higher in team order, the last hit, which is supposed to wipe all of us and block, kill the Maria, Empress took that last hit, died, and reflected damage back to Marius. This is why Empress counters Marius, by the way. So I on this account, I always first pick Empress. Like he's gonna protect everyone behind him. The reflect damage killed the Marius, and then our Maria stayed alive, right? And then we put revive on death on ourselves, and it came back to life. Now the Galathier is really set. I think he has one more turn before he can transform and revive. We just to go for the kill here. Not enough? Oh, little soldiers, little skeletons. 16k. No, 10.6k. 10.6k from the little soldiers. Having high attack on Maria is very, very good. Because it scales off of attack, right? That so yeah, this is looks like a Maria day. where we're just picking Maria everywhere here. I only have one counter to Commodus, so it's mandatory to ban Commodus because if he bans our Marishka, we just lose, right? So you have to ban the Commodus, and the opponent can either ban the Marishka, thinking that his Commodus might get through, or he can, be cheeky and ban another thing, right? Like, so here he bans the Marishka, thinking his Commodus might get through. Um, for us, we have to ban the Commodus. We don't really have a choice because we only have one counter to it. We're faster. We lock out. Predator dodged to the sheep. This is why a lot of Odin's built with pinpoint. If he did stone skin and pinpoint, I couldn't sheep him, right? Um, this is the reason why Odin builds pinpoint, but he wasn't in pinpoint build. So great for me. Extra turn, 1. Just go for the kill, 2. Galathier thinking. Does the revive? Do not recommend, right? Because Embrace hasn't gone yet and has a AoE. So I'm thinking if I transform, he's gonna counterattack. Okay. Uh, he lost his veil because of that. Because he counterattacked, it triggered my uh my Abian to counterattack him and petrified him. And he, once you're petrified, you lose all buffs on yourself, right? So he lost his veil. Now that gives my Embrace an opportunity to hit him because usually I wouldn't be able to petrify again. Okay. Predator has everything. Okay, kills everybody and comes back to life. This is what, the third turn. Hovering the Odin. Get an irresistible lockout on everybody. Only chance is to transform here. I mean, he's got nothing. No, he's gonna stay in Form 1. Try to cycle back. Oh, I don't think in this situation, can my Maria still pull it back? I honestly don't remember this match. Okay, he hit us for 2.4k. Okay, so we're back to round 1. 1. Okay, I did the splash damage. 2. Soldier. Those little skeletons. 3 skeletons for the win. You thought I lost that match, didn't you? I thought I lost that match too. But nah, Maria. Okay. In this match, you had to identify who is the most threatening target, and they picked Gizmak at signaling me he's gonna ban the Marishka. So I am already thinking about what can I do with these champions. And out of these, I'm thinking they have a lot of lockout. I need to draft things that's resistant to lockout. And I need to be able to survive this guy. This is his main nuker. His most damage comes from that big smack, which can be absorbed by UDK. And high resistance, hard to lock out and strip, right? So and because they have a lot of revive capabilities, we need a lot of firepower to bring them down. So I don't pick any revivers, no disruptors, nothing. 1 UDK and 3 nukers. I think that's the mindset going into this match. I'm expecting him to ban the Marishka, which he does. Okay, good. So it's going according to plan so far. He's gonna do his double lockout strip our stone skin, but it's gonna be fine, I think. Okay, strip, double strip. Now everybody is really no cooldown, right? I forgot for extra turn 1. Don't get us. Don't get the third one. So just 2. Unlucky. Um, here we have to swap form. We AoE here. Okay. because he used the AoE already, he either has to A1 or do his big smack, which is going to get absorbed by UDK. He has to A1. I think his choice is Marie. Rolled a mastery maybe that got that skill back, so he, he did it again. Pretty lucky, right? Unlucky on my side, pretty lucky on his side. Not sure. I don't have lockouts. Why are we not reviving with very curious. Okay, now I'm on the third turn. I killed the big friend. Like too greedy with the revives. Just do it. Like I killed the sick friend, and now the what is this champion? Duchess is irresistible lockout, right? For 2 turns. At the fear, okay. Opponent left. I think yeah, either misclick or just way too greedy with the revive there. There's no reason not to revive there with the Duchess. Um, maybe a misclick. People with YT in their name. That means they're a YouTuber, right? So a fellow YouTuber. And I think one of the very few champions who pick Nice and recognize that my Maria is a high threat for his team. Not scared of Lockout, not scared of Nice, not scared of Marius, right? So he bans the Maria. Good job. Almost nobody bans the Maria. So this player recognizes to ban the Maria. And very high blessing, really nice account, right? So we go into this match and see how it goes. Now we do have the I think the Control Brothers, and one of the biggest weakness for Nice is control, right? That's something that the Nice, like he can't be good at everything, and that's why you see a lot of Nice built with like chain breakers and final submission to protect against its only weakness, right? That's control. This Galathier just took 2 turns in a row. What is that? Chrono Cube or some other thing? I'm not sure. But Galathier does Galathier things. He goes for a risky strip. I have 1, 2, 3, right? This one's a 6-star, this one's a 5-star, this one's a 5-star. Um, just risky in my opinion. Um, like he wants to go for the instant win if he lands this, but very risky, and it could cost him the game, which he turns into cheap here. Now I do the lockout, and you see that buff there. That is the fatigue icon. So there's a mythical relic that does this. It makes Fabian also counter mythicals, right? If you haven't seen that video, it's under the how to build Fabian. Um, so over there, I do the petrification, which puts fear on everybody as well. I think Crexia here wants to cleanse everyone. He's thinking, okay, so she goes for the transform, doesn't hit the fear, win the 50-50 there, right? And because you have fear on yourself already, this is why Fabian, if you can get fears on the mythical champions, you actually counter them. Whenever they transform, they're gonna trigger your counterattack, and you're gonna be able to petrify them. So that together with the fatigue debuff that's being put on the by the mythical relic, every time they do anything other than A1, they fall asleep. These two things makes Fabian also counter mythicals, right? Like normally you wouldn't counter mythicals because your lockout does nothing to. So this is why. Over here, I'm going for the turn meter steal. It's a great time to do it because the Marius is petrified, right? Normally, if I do this, the Marius will counterattack. Great time to do it. And over here, I'm guessing the Crexia has some resistance. I just don't target her, right? I target someone else. Okay, one resist, another resist. So like her resistance is basically just at the threshold of my accuracy. So you're seeing sometimes I'm landing the decreased turn meter and sometimes getting the resistance. Here I just immediately transform and I go for the block revive, right? So the Marius is never coming back. Even if the Nice does crazy things later, he's not coming back. You're always looking for someone who has a very, very low turn meter with Fabian, because when you A1 them, when they have low turn meter, you reapply the True Fear. That is very, very high value because the True Fear will be 2 turns. So even if they like someone like Empress could take an extra turn and try to cleanse themselves, um, and maybe they have wand, like you still have another fear on them. Very important. Here I'm really hoping to drag the Empress, and I do. I get super lucky there. 1 out of 3, right? 33% chance. Here I stunned the Nice the first time around. So I'm thinking maybe the Nice doesn't have wand for whatever reason. Maybe he has like a OP mythical relic, and that's why he doesn't have wand, right? Here you have to recognize that maybe you can kill through the sheep and not hit the Nice. So I do a double hit through the sheep, barely, barely, right? It's okay. Go for, and I'm not in a rush. Like I think the necrosis is gonna be able to uh, get him anyways. Here, because he is stunned, I'm not too scared. I go for the kill, which is gonna trigger his passive. He's gonna transform and not die, but he's still gonna be stunned. Yeah, and then now the necrosis is doing huge work, right? We even pitch. So this Nice definitely not have wand, I'm thinking, because I didn't get wanded a single time. Um, I wonder what relic is on this Nice. That is potentially thinks is a better choice than wand of submission. Okay, strong hit. So that's tells me is a bias servitude. That's relic where you can't crit on him when he's below a certain threshold. Um, which is great on ice. Like that relic is crazy broken on ice, right? But then it makes the Nice super super susceptible to controls like hard CCs, and because he has a 5-star chain breaker instead of a 6-star, so yeah, it makes the Nice build just a little bit wonky, and his Nice took did 0 damage. So yeah, Nice, his weakness is crowd control, and this is why people build Wand of Submission and Chainbreaker on him. But if Chainbreaker is not a 6-star, maybe the super broken no crit relic mythical is. I guess you don't meet this kind of heavy control all the time, so it might be okay with a 5-star Chainbreaker, just not for this match. Okay, we go for the next one here. Um, the next one. What am I seeing? What am I seeing? Am I facing myself? Um, so of course I pick the big counter to Necrit ILO, right? And that is Mr. UDK. I leave the Necrit ILO open because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? A3 me ILO's A3 is notoriously for hitting weak, right? Unless it's very very well built and it's even got a stone skin. Okay, hold on. Let me just. What is this? Necrit is protecting the Carnage. What in the world? If you're running Necrit ILO, it must be that the ILO has the lowest HP, right? So the Necrit protects ILO, so you get an instant turn. The Carnage has even lower HP than ILO. Is this on purpose so that ILO don't get a turn? Or what is going on? Like, was it a mistake? It, aha, okay, I understand. this is a player who does not run Necrit ILO often. And I'm gonna do a detailed breakdown of my favorite combo in this game. That is Necrit ILO. All of these videos shortly coming up before the finale of reaching 1320. It's coming, guys. But Necrit ILO, there are so many little nuances, little mechanics, and I know this player don't run this combo often because he put the turn order wrong, like the team order wrong. Like when you see my matches, you always see like I pick, I don't know, Marius, Fabian, Necrit, some other random thing, and Ilo, right? That's my team. Maybe like a CV here and Ilo. Why is it I picked the Necrit like the third and the Ilo last? There is a reason. There is a reason. I'm pretty sure this player has it set up correctly then. The HP is the lowest on ILO. It's supposed to go there. But he messed up the pick order. You cannot make this kind of rookie mistake if you're playing Necrit ILO. The Necrit, and I'll go into more detail about this on that video when I break down this combo. But the Necrit in its very essence must be picked before the ILO. I'll just say that for now, and then you guys can watch that video on why later, right? It is extremely, extremely important. If you're running Necrit ILO, remember Necrit goes before the ILO. You could be in this situation where I'm like, what is this? So he did have the correct HP. It's just he messed up the team order. Yeah, I bet he won't ever do that again. Now that he's thinking, what just happened? Okay, now I'm thinking maybe he did do that mistake on purpose because what just happened? He just A2'd with the ILO into. Have we never played ILO versus UDK matchup before? Do we not know UDK redirects all single target hits? Like, why are we targeting the Marishka and then having the A2 of ILO hit the triple reaction UDK with sucks, man. Like when I see my favorite combo in the entire game getting butchered like this, it kind of hurts. Um, I think this player deserves to lose, right? Let's just pick his butt. We get an extra turn. These mistakes are really unacceptable. Like, what am I watching? What am I watching? Please make a move. Did you just leave already? Protect your Galathir? Sure. Yeah. Okay, revive. Okay, I don't have. Do I have splash damage still? Try to do the decreased attack. Doesn't work. Okay, Steel Terminator. Yep. Lock everybody out. Irresistible. Galathir is locked out. Be thinking about transforming. Or no. What are we doing? Just A1. Okay? Because you transform, you're gonna lose stacks off of the Necrit protection, right? Um, Sometimes you want to make sure your Galathir is well protected, and he gets a chance. If he's fast enough, he might be able to cycle back with the revives. Not the worst idea. I don't know. I don't know. This match is very very strange. Very strange, let's just say. And yeah, I hate to see my favorite combo being butchered like that. Um, Very fast team bans the Calvalax, makes sense, right? Um, but that champion, I don't even, is mostly I see it in Chimera, right? This champion puts up so much buffs. It's like as almost as wonderful as seeing a Sifi on the end. Because watch, so many buffs, even though he boosts his own turn meter and yeah. Like it's just so good for the supersonic, right? I have two champion disruptors in supersonic, I immediately cut. And at this point, is game over, right? Odin's locked out. Marius is locked out. Over here, I got enfeebled, so I can't do Terminator Steel. I have to do the sheep. Okay, I died to the predator. I think it was a counterattack because I tried to strip his buffs that count as the thing that predator can dodge, and he did dodge it, so he's gonna counterattack, right? Over here, did he resist the lockup? What is this champion? Like, what? Why is it not killing a Fabian? Ridiculous, right? I don't know. That champion, I'm very not big fan of it, right? Um, and you had to pay for it, and it's like very inconsistent. The Marius died there to the Volcardiac Heart, I believe, the reflect damage, and the Necrosis. Here I go for the AoE. Um, yeah, Predator, he still has the. Just doesn't do enough damage. Goes dies to the. Okay, leaves. Yeah. Predator, I have faced many, many times. Not a fan. Not a fan. Sometimes if he dodges everything, yeah, it's a godlike champion, but not consistent at many times. We love CV. Um, so many buffs. Boosts our Terminator times 4, Terminator times 4, Terminator times 4, right? Supersonic. Always try for the Marius. A lot of times Marius don't have wand because they want to increase damage. This champion. This champion has 9-piece Mercurial, and he landed everything, right? Landed the strip on Stone Skin, landed this freeze stun. Yeah, HP burn. This is just um, terrible for me. I get a sheep, very nice. Here, looking, there is no. The sometimes um, there is no polymorph on the enemy team, but it can still be the incorrect choice to use the fear skill, and this is exactly why. I don't have the stone skin anymore. There, like I'm trying to be greedy. If I land the fear on Marius and then I transform, maybe the Marius doesn't counterattack. Like that's the thinking. But even if they don't have polymorph, they most likely most teams will have at least one wand submission, and by doing this, you risk of getting one fear stack back on your own Empress, and that can mess you up big time because you want to transform to the second form. And if this fear procs and I can't transform, I lost right immediately. So that's a huge risk. Sometimes just don't do the fear altogether. Just transform, especially if you don't have the stone skin anymore. It got stolen. So I think that was a mistake on my part. But I get lucky here. I uh, was able to transform, and I stay alive here. Don't die. I here I did not know this interaction. I think I should have known, but the total guard blocks all these special effects, including HP swap. If you didn't know, guys. So I tried to HP swap with the Hilvi, who's under total guard. Does nothing. Does nothing. So now I know. Total guard even protects that. That Mercurial set, even though has some drawbacks, but is very strong. And I really wish I can get some good Mercurial pieces. But after 2 rotations, I don't have much that is acceptable, right? I block revive the Marius over there. I think that's the correct choice. Here, what is that champion? That's a Sifi, so I'm not gonna be able to kill through the sheep. I have to recognize who you can and cannot kill through the sheep, right? Over here, I get rid of the decreased defense. Okay, rock the nice. Nice does the thing. The Hilvi does the revive skill that puts block damage, right? Like she can still use that skill even if there is no target to revive because Marius is dead, block revived. So normally, if you have a champion that has to target like another one in order to use the revive skill, that skill will be grayed out. Like you can't use it. But for Hilvi, you can still use a revive skill even if there's no target because it also does the block damage. So she tries to do that. Because the game recognized that as an attempt to revive, my Maria comes back. That's another like advanced thing that happens, right? Because whenever, even if you attempted to revive, the Maria will come back through her passive. So pretty cool, I think, and also makes Maria even more um, deserving than a 3.5 rating that she's getting in. Very, very underrated. Okay, I'm gonna do the AoE. Okay, my thing dies here. Okay, I think I just get controlled to death because the Sifi is back and the Hilvi is here. Just freeze city, right? Freeze and sleep and freeze and sleep. Is there any chance I could possibly come back? Okay, my Armans gets a turn, but immediately gets wanded. Right? Why not? And before my Empress takes a turn, the Sifi uh, kills him with an A1. Ah, okay. The Maria passive didn't line up there, so um, we lose that match, right? Just take a look. I think I cut some other ones that's not really interesting, but yeah, we did fairly well. 9 wins, 1 loss. Um, Against some pretty good players there. Yeah, that's all the matches for today. Um, Thank you so much for watching. Um, and I will see you on the next one. We're delayed for 1 day, I think, in terms of uploads because of the collaboration. And but we will get there, right, for the 1320 and the grand finale. And look out for the Necrit Ileo breakdown that's coming up next. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.